Hello everybody, welcome back to Blues Focus TV for another full-time match reaction video. Bit of a quieter game today compared to our midweek battle against the Baggies, coming away with a 0-0 draw against bottom of the league Coventry. Now of course some fans won't be happy with today's point, as Coventry obviously sit bottom of the league, so some would argue we should have picked up all three. But in my opinion, I think it's a good point and certainly a fair result given how both teams played. Coventry are still a very good side with a very good team on paper. We've seen what they're capable of in previous seasons in the Championship. For whatever reason, they just haven't quite started in the fashion they would have liked this season. But they are certainly a good side. They're no pushovers. So I think a point is a good and fair result given today's performance. First half, Coventry certainly looked the better side, and interestingly enough, in last video I said I can't remember a game under Eustace where Blues didn't start the better side. Under him, we always seem to start our games on the front foot and really well, but today it was Coventry's turn. They certainly created a good number of chances in the first 45 minutes and probably should have scored at least one of them. But saying that, we did have a few chances as well, particularly in the 8th minute, I believe it was. Gino Bacuna, ball squared into the box from Tahith Chong, I believe it was, and his shot from around 7 or 8 yards out sailed way over the bar, should have at least been on target, and 95% of the time Gino Bacuna will find the back of the net from that range in that position. But sadly enough, he was just leaning a bit too far back, put a bit too much power on it, and it sailed over the crossbar. So I'm sure he'll be thinking about that opportunity a lot tonight, because he should have really scored. But hey-ho, there you go. Coventry then were knocking on Blues' door. They had a good number of chances, and those chances came from a good amount of mistakes at the back from Blues, to be honest. I've got in my notes here, I think second half defensively we were a lot better, but first half defensively we were pretty poor. Certainly Jordan Graham making quite a few mistakes over on the left-hand side, and I do feel for Graham. Obviously with Poeta injured at the moment, he's having to play the left wing-back role, but he's certainly far more suited playing over on the right-hand side. Those crosses into the box, he's able to do those in-swinging crosses, are so much more effective, and he just looks much more comfortable on the ball, much more composed compared to what he does on the left-hand side. He didn't have his best performance today. Obviously, he's been a bit in and out of the team. He's come back from an injury. So I don't expect miracles from him, but for whatever reason, he really wasn't on it today. And I do, in my opinion, blame that on him playing on the left side instead of his favoured right. But Josh Williams obviously can also play on the left, so maybe for next game, if Poeta is still not back and Collins still favoured in the centre-back role, to play Williams back on the left and Graham on the right. But that's up to Eustace, we'll see what he does. But yeah, passing out the back today in the first half wasn't too good. That's what gave Coventry a lot of their chances, a few sloppy mistakes at the back, just misplacing the ball, heavy touches that allowed Coventry to regain possession quite high up the pitch on a number of occasions. John Ruddy, stellar performance again. I think he's been our player of the season so far. He's just so brilliant. Every shot, you think some have quite a lot of power, some are good positions in the goal, and he's just able to hold on to them. There were a few shots today, 1 or 2 that bounced in front of him, 1 or 2 that were quite low driven. There were certainly Coventry attackers ready to pounce on any loose balls, but his handling was stellar today and certainly did what he had to do. And when few goal kicks going wide to the left, but we'll let him off because he made some fantastic saves today. But overall, to summarise the first half, certainly Coventry were the team on top and we were looking a bit concerning at the back. But second half, we did come out looking a much better side. Scott Hogan had a chance fairly early on, whipped in from Gino Bacuna. It was a beautiful ball, to be fair to him, over on the left-hand side, and it was a great save by the Coventry keeper. Well headed by Hogan. He just needed a little something on it, and 99 times out of 100 it would go in, but was a good save from the Coventry keeper. But second half, we seemed to have a lot more possession of the ball. We seemed to take control of the game, which was really great to see. Coventry, of course, didn't go without their chances as well, but we equalled them in chances and probably bettered them in possession as well. So it was nice to see whatever Eustace said at half-time clearly worked, because we were keeping the ball and moving the ball around a lot better and creating a few opportunities for ourselves. And defensively, we were a lot more solid. Obviously, when Coventry did attack, the few times they did attack in the second half, we held our shape well, put in some good tackles, cleared the ball when we needed to, passed out the back when it was appropriate to. So defensively, a much better second half performance. And certainly Hannibal came on second half as well. Really impressed with the way Hannibal started at Blues, particularly today's performance. I know Eustace has favoured him playing up front on a number of occasions, but he is a natural midfielder, and he's certainly a lot more suited to playing the midfield role today. For me, Chong was a little bit off the mark today. So it was nice to see, to potentially, help him out a bit. Hannibal come and play alongside him, because obviously they would have done that at Man United. But Hannibal was brilliant. You can tell he's an aggressive player. He's not afraid to get stuck in. Some really good challenges, really good dribbles at times as well. One on the right-hand side where he beat around 3 Coventry players before he was fouled. He's certainly going to be a fantastic player for us this season. And I think I mentioned this a few episodes ago, but I think it's really important to have that defensive-minded midfielder in the middle of the park. I was really impressed with Christian Bielik as well today, putting some important challenges in, and he's a big player, and it's good to have that presence in the middle. I feel when we had that midfield of George Hall, Jordan James and Junior Bacuna, it was a bit too attacking, and we didn't have that defensive-minded player to win possession in the middle of the park and distribute it out wide. But Christian Bielik certainly did that very well today. I've been really impressed with how he started at Blues, and same with Hannibal. He came on and did exactly what Bielik did throughout the entire game. So it was nice to have that defensive assurance in the midfield, as well as those attacking options such as Chong and Bacuna to help us take the ball forward. But good midfield performance, particularly in the second half. Better defensive performance in the second half. And in terms of our forwards, Deeney and Hogan, in fairness to them today, they didn't have a load of service. We weren't getting as many crosses into the box as I feel we normally do. Whether that's because we've got young Josh Williams on the right-hand side and Graham on the left, who struggles to get balls into the box when it's not on his favoured right-hand side. That could be the reasoning, I don't know. But we weren't delivering as much as we normally do in terms of balls into the box. But Hogan was good. I thought defensively Hogan was good. I've noticed this under Eustace, he does like Deeney and Hogan to both track back. Often for set pieces and corners, Coventry haven't everything. We've got all our players back defending, and Hogan certainly put some good challenges in at the back. And in terms of Deeney, he was okay today, bit quieter, obviously a lot quieter than he was midweek. He played some stunning through balls midweek against West Brom, but a bit quieter today. But when you don't have the service, it's a bit harder for an attacker to get involved. But in terms of what Hogan and Deeney had to do today, they did do pretty well. So overall, not a bad Blues performance. Second half was certainly much better than the first half. I think a point is definitely fair, given both teams had some good opportunities, some good chances, and a fairly even share of possession. So we'll take it. As I said, 12 points from our first 10 games. Not the worst start in the world. 17th in the league. It's probably about where we expect to be. It's where we finish most seasons. But hopefully after the international break, we can push on a bit more. Sheffield United away on Saturday, October 1st. So hopefully that goes well. But that's it from me. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep right on.